I am single. I have no gentleman callers. I am not being courted, and I have a roster of none. I hope I said that in enough ways for you to understand a piece of what my life looks like as someone who is in her 20s in a new city and a Black woman. Those are all things that I believe overlap and intersect and have influenced my perspectives around dating, marriage, and love recently. And like many people who are in my position or similar, I have this question in the back of my head that is, will I ever find true love? Is true love something I should even be looking for? Should it just be marriage or dating for another reason? These are all questions that I have. I do not have the answer to these questions. I simply have thoughts to discuss as I paint in my watercolor book. I will start by saying, what has kind of hindered my outlook on dating, you ask? For starters, first-hand experience. I've been on a few dates. I've been on dates from dating apps. I've been on dates from meeting people in person. Yeah. And I can say that it is rough out here. There are a lot of things that influence what dating is like in this day and age. And I'm not saying any other generation has been better. I thought that as a whole, Gen Z, I thought we were going to decide to be better when it came to dating and relationships. And many things have gotten better. There is definitely more conversation had about healthy relationships and healthy partnership, but there are some things that we still have chosen to not figure out. One of them being communication and just being honest about whether or not you truly like someone, or you're just trying to fill your time and avoid loneliness. I hope I don't sound like a bitter person at all. I'm just expressing. But there have been, things like that have hindered. Media. I didn't realize how much media was having an influence on my perception around dating, especially as a Black woman. Respect to those who are walking life in their own way and following their path, but it's been very rare to see someone who has followed and been happy in the path that I want to follow. I want to be in a relationship where we date, we get married, and then we have like our family and things like that. There are a lot of people who, for many reasons, don't follow those paths. There are a lot of relationships that are being showcased and spotlighted that are straight up unhealthy, toxic. I spent my summer watching Love Island, and that chipped away at what little faith I had left in it. And I wasn't like necessarily getting unhappy around it. I think it was just becoming almost like acceptance of the reality that I may not find this true love that when I first moved that I was hoping to that I was hoping to come across. I very much believed in fairy tales and true love, and I shared that belief with guy friends who looked at me like I was crazy and told me that I was just setting myself up to be hurt. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm going about this in a immature way. Maybe I need to wake up and realize that dating and relationships are just different as you get older. And so I accepted that, and I was happy with that acceptance. I really admire Tracee Ellis Ross as a woman, and for her, she is someone that I could see, okay, if I'm going to live life as a single woman, if that is the path my life is going to go down, I'm going to do it in a way that I'm authentically myself and happy. And for me, Tracee Ellis Ross is someone who embodies that. So after watching Love Island, I watched her solo traveling series on Roku. And I was like, okay, yes, I could be happy like that. I could be that person who is, finding love within myself and within the connections that I have with people that aren't necessarily like my life partner, but are gonna fulfill me in a way that still allows me to lead a very happy life. And so I was like, okay, I can do that. And then Monaleo saved the day. She broadcasted her wedding, her events leading up to her wedding, and she took us along with her on that journey. And I really appreciate that she did that because, you know, she's not the first celebrity to show her wedding or what led up to it. But I feel like the love that she has shown to Stunna, and the love that she has shown to her family, and the way she's just allowed this to be a light in the darkness is something that I truly appreciate. And she has single-handedly refreshed and restored my faith and belief in finding true love. And I can feel, you know, myself opening back up to the idea of that fairy tale love. You know, I want to believe that sparks fly. I want to believe that, you know, there's something more than just, I don't know, dating for the various reasons that people date. I want to believe that. And she has helped me get back to that belief. I really love the way she took her wedding and made it truly her own and made it this grand fairy tale princess ordeal. Because that's not something you see Black women get a lot of the time, especially young Black women. She is young. She is in my generation. You know, she didn't have, I don't know her life that much, you know, but I will say I really admire how she allowed herself to feel this and how she has been shown love by a person in her 20s, in her young age. I love that for her. I also love how she had elements of Black American history in it. Jumping the broom is something that, you know, I thought was becoming obsolete, to be honest. I haven't been to like a wedding since I was a child, so I don't know if people are still doing that. But it's something that I loved seeing two Black people come together to form their union, to jump the broom, because that is something that is historical and like so powerful in a time where Black American history is truly under attack and Black American culture is under attack, along with many other things in this country. I also love how she took the opportunity to use her wedding to show love to others and to her community, to her village. There are some people, you know, they have their own reasons for it, and I respect it, who want more of a small, private, intimate thing, and I respect that. But I've known for myself that that is not something that I want, but I think I just started hearing other people say it to a point where I was kind of internalizing that. But she just, seeing the way she went about showing people love and incorporating them into that moment made me feel like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And it just made me see weddings in a new light. A lot of people will say like, oh, marriage is just a piece of paper, or wedding is da 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 da. Like, there's so much pessimism out there in the world surrounding love and marriage and weddings, because, you know, people have their own outlook and experiences that are informing that. But for me, I always wanted that moment in my life to be special, to mean something more, and like showing love in a world where people are more comfortable showing and spreading hatred is something that is so powerful. And I really appreciate that she was open and, you know, took us along with her and on that journey. Like, it really made my heart feel fulfilled. So where does that leave me now? Because in my mind, there's like two ends. You know, there's this fairy tale wedding moment, and there's this live life, breathe air on my own, go out into the world as a solo woman. In my head, I have, you know, alignment to Monaleo and alignment to Tracee Ellis Ross. Those are my two people that are like at the top of those experiences in my head. And so, you know, I've been like, dang, like, I do kind of want to get married now, or I do kind of want life to myself. And I've come to the conclusion that really both of these women have made me feel really hopeful and confident that no matter where I end up in life, I can be happy and I can be fulfilled. And it's made me realize, like, at my core, there are things that I want in my life. And both experiences, being married or living a life as a single woman, can bring me fulfillment in those areas. I want to be someone who is family centered, and I can do that as a married woman, and like stay connected with my family and branch with another family, or I can do that as a single woman. I can be everyone's fun auntie. I can be the person who shows up, sticks $5 in your kid's hand, takes them out, like lets them see the world with me, and I bring them right back home. I can be family centered in so many ways. I want to experience that in whatever way God has planned for my life. But I'm confident that I will experience that no matter if I have a partner or not. I also want to be someone who is so committed to my personal goals. Monaleo, as a musician, I have always admired her. I love her music. I love her authenticity. And it's nice to see that as of right now, you know, she's not throwing that away. She's still being herself and just being partnered with someone and unionizing with someone, but, you know, still staying true to herself. Tracee, she's about her bag. She has pattern. Not half, but a good amount of the Roku show was a pattern advertisement, I'm pretty sure, but it's her company, you know, she can do that. So it's nice to see how there's opportunity to stay committed to personal goals and growth on either end of that spectrum. I also love how beauty and fashion can be expressed, you know, whether single or in a relationship. And now this is kind of becoming a this or that kind of thing, but this is my thought process that I've been having based on these things. We've seen Tracee, you know, have an amazing wardrobe and be extremely fashionable. I saw Monaleo have a pink, beautiful wedding dress. Her blush, as always, was on point. Like, I saw the beauty of a wedding, and I also have seen the beauty in, like, Rihanna, like, her with her baby bump being a, like, beautiful mother. Like, I think there's been a lot of beautiful moments that have made me just really inspired and happy about, you know, whatever direction my life could go in. And I also love how all of these Black women that I mentioned are also uplifting other Black women with whatever they're doing. Tracee could have went on these trips alone and not, you know, showed us that vulnerable side of being single. You know, she took the chance to take us along with her and to show us that. Monaleo, she could have made that wedding private, intimate, but she took us up, and I think she knew, like, how inspiring it was gonna be, and I appreciate that she did that. Like, I think that, you know, there are so many things out there that will chip away at the belief of living a happy life, whether you are wifed, married, dating, single, whatever. As a Black woman, there are so many things out there that make you lose your faith. But I think this wedding and the other things that I've, you know, been blessed to see and to come across have really restored my belief that, you know what, everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And so what that means for me is I'm going to, you know, just live life, just vibe, you know. If a person comes into my life, I will be open-minded. I will try my hardest not to hate men, even though they make it real hard the way they be tapped in with this patriarchy. But I'm going to try to be open-minded. I'm going to, you know, also live life happy on my own and with myself, and, you know, really value these moments that I have with myself. Because let's say I do find someone, up until that point, I've got all this time to be a single woman and to really just enjoy life on my own terms, and I'm gonna do that. And so, yeah, I say all this to say, if you're someone who's a little bit pessimistic, losing your faith around, you know, what life could look like for you, I really think it's important to consume and to view things on either end of the spectrum. You know, I think none of us really know where God is taking us in life. Whether we like it or not, it does not say in the Bible that every single person is going to be married. It does not say in the Bible, or I'm not even going to say in the Bible. That's the reality of life. Every single person in this world is not married. Every single person in this world, you know, doesn't end up finding that person. I want to believe that that person is out there, and I think that belief will keep me motivated and positive, but having a balance of what I'm pursuing is keeping me motivated and happy and allowing me to keep my belief. And I think a goal that I'm going to have for myself is to really go back to buying into fairy tales, for real, and to just really allow myself to restore my belief in love, because I think that belief for me isn't just about knowing, okay, my person could be out there, but like, what does that mean for my life? It means I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to take the bare minimum for someone, because either I'm going to be single on my own happy, or I'm going to have that fairy tale. There's no in between. There's no settling. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, let different things happen with different people just because I don't want to be lonely. Because I have seen it. I've seen where people can be happy alone and in their own solitude and in their own company. So I'm going to know that I'll be okay. I'll also know that the possibility is out there. Another reason why I love the showcase of, you know, love is because other people have been responding on social media kind of in the same way that I have. And I think it brings me a lot of peace knowing that other people are also pursuing love and being loving people, because like relationship, like marriage type relationship aside, dating aside, I think more people believing in love will really just make the world a better place. Not to be all kumbaya or not to give I don't know, hippie or anything, but I truly do believe that a lot of this world is messed up because people are not letting love into their life. People are not showing love to others. Whatever love means to you, I think that when more people show it and more people spread it and believe in it, that'll bring us a lot of balance and harmony to the world. It'll make people see humanity in more of a caring light, and hopefully it'll make them wake up to spreading more love, because there's a lot of hate filling the world right now, and that sucks. And it honestly contributes to also why dating sucks, because you got people who will say crazy things on a date. I've had people say things that make me like, what am I giving off that makes you think I would hold that belief? Are you crazy? Like, there's so much I could talk about with this dating thing, because I don't know. A lot of stuff is just very spooky out here. It's scary, so. But I say that to say, I love the wedding. I pray, like, that their marriage is full of happiness and the same love that they have experienced on this, you know, on their first day of being married. I also really, really, really am waking up to believing in fairy tales again. I'm going to read more romance novels. I'm going to watch more rom-coms. I'm not going to let people take away, you know, my interest in love and fairy tales. I think it's okay for me to be a little bit of a lover girl. I'm not the most expressive person when it comes to that, if you know me in real life, but it is something that I believe in, and I feel confident in that belief. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see my little flowers, this is them. Yeah. Okay. If you're out there and you're like me and you want to be in love, do it. Reflect on. And if you are someone who has once believed in that belief, has been taken away from whatever, from whoever, from internalizing anything from your past, or honestly internalizing things from other people, I want you to take a second, think about why that is, and really pursue and take things in that are showing true love. Really be intentional about that, because that's what helped me, and I hope it helps you as well.